everybody. I'm really thankful to you to stay so long and to have still patience for a little bit more slides. I hope that you are still awake, because today you awake on the polluted side, because Belgrade is from recently one of the most polluted cities in the world, and this is unfortunately the privilege that we be in some of the statistics, but not always good. You all know Reuters and World Health Organization, they all claim that we are breathing and living in polluted area. Last year we spoke about incentives in dirty energy, and we spoke about the levels of these incentives, and if I just repeat, I will not stay long, that IMF is evaluating up to 500 billion US dollars or euro, which are incentivizing the fossil energy all over the world. To be in knowledge what these things are producing, you can imagine that big number of deaths and very unhealthy life is present there, but we spoke about that last year. I'm just introducing this presentation to some things that probably will happen in short future, because we will not be able to choose anymore. It's not question what we can do, it is question what we have to do. And what professors said, and especially Mr. Hovorka, which I wanted to thank for his very impressive presentation. Unfortunately he left, but I hope that he will for sure know that he raised some attention here. Rade Đukanović spoke about this increasing of the temperature, so I don't want to stay there long. Where I would like to stay longer is that if none of these scenarios will happen in short future, something will need to happen. And B2DS scenario, which is bringing us to really limiting of temperature increase in future years, will bring that the heat pumps, which is the topic of this presentation, will need to take really serious place in a complete picture of one country. And if we speak about Serbia, that is even more important. We speak about roughly 40% of heat pumps to be used for all kinds of heating by the year of 2060. This is the data of OECD, and I think that we should really think about that very seriously. And what Mr. Živković spoke before about efficiency, which is not important for investors, I fully agree. We are every day facing these kind of things. But unfortunately for these guys, I think that this will not be a choice any longer. It will be a must. So I'm sure that these things will be also brought by regulations. And now we are starting to speak about heat pumps. There is current policy implementation, which is familiar to everybody, 20% renewable energy by the year 2020. Most of the countries are far away from that, and that will not happen. So European Commission is already thinking about two potential scenarios. One is heat pump plus, the other is heat pump plus plus. In the worst case scenario for investors, it will be that 100% new buildings with 50% retrofits by 2030 will need to go in direction of heat pumps and renewable energy. This is clear message, and this message will also come to us, and I believe that we really need to think about that message. Learning from some other countries, or better say good countries that started to do something in Europe, we will start to see what are the EU 28, apart from Brexit, I'm sorry, but I still have it in EU countries, will or plan to do or already doing. There are general policy definitions which are providing this heat pump plus and heat pump plus plus. There are clearly defined RES directives which are stating 20% renewables. This all partly happened, but it still needs to go in that direction. We heard Professor Stojanović about nearly zero buildings. This is especially valid for United Kingdom, and we need to learn from that. Eco-design directive and all the other directives. I need to say that from all these directives, including EU Energy Roadmap, we have positive impact to heat pumps. There are only two directives which are not showing statistically great impact, and we speak about EU Energy Roadmap and Renewable Energy Communication. These are the two directives which are showing slight or, let's say, no significant impact, but definitely all the directives are going in direction of heat pumps. Coming to countries, there was our colleague from Linda with a very interesting presentation, I have to say. We saw what the Swedish guys are doing with manufacturing side products, but what is even more important, what they are doing with promoting heat pumps and equipment which is really of strategic importance. They have promoting using biomass because they have some limitations because of the climate. They cannot use the very cold air with the very north areas, and they are very limited in using groundwater for source of their heat pumps. So they are promoting some other solutions, but in general they are very successful and they are already mature market for heat pumps. Coming to UK, I hope that Professor Stojanovic will not see something which is not in line with UK, but UK is very regulated. With, let's say, moderate results achieved. They have mandatory law that 15% of renewables for heating are coming in 2020. They have lots of ideas, lots of things are happening, but the results are a little bit lower than in the rest of Europe, and I'm sure that they will come to that. But learning from the directives, I think that the most comprehensive directive portfolio is actually present in UK. Since we have really strong time restriction, I will not go in much details, but if anybody is interested in all these directives, I will be happy to share this with everybody. Now we are coming with a very successful country, which is Austria, but this is coming from their geographics and the sources of especially biomass. They are already at the level of 34% renewables, and we also can learn something from these guys. Other countries are more or less in the range of 20%. Germany, which was surprising to me, but later on when I was really researching a little bit deeper, I realized that Germans are doing some things in not so good way. We will see about that later on. Italy, Spain, South countries, also a little bit below. Serbia, we are already at nearly zero, Professor Stojanovic, but our nearly zero is related. Sorry,
sorry, you are making mistake always. He's Jankovic.
Professor Jankovic. We are nearly zero, but not nearly zero in sense of energy efficiency. We are nearly zero in direction of promoting of renewable energy, and we spoke about that last year. I hope that with Professor together, we already started some activities, and I hope that really hope that next year we will have some different results than this what we are presenting here, because I feel a little bit ashamed, and I will say this loud. When I was following presentations of Mr. Hovorka, Mr. Gasparelli, Professor Jankovic, I really see the difference with acceptance and things that we speak in Serbia and things that are spoken in Europe. This has to be changed. We do not need to speak about equipment, we don't need to speak about solutions, because some people that are very smart already did that. We need to speak about solutions, and we need to speak about strategy to put something together that we get some results. Otherwise, these presentations are not much to show. Coming to the current energy model in Serbia, we will see that biomass and renewables are again nearly zero. Natural gas is 77%. Other products are really leading. We will not focus to that. I will only mention Germany because I promised. Germans are using 46% of coal and 37% of gas. Now we clearly see why their result is not so good. These are official data coming from KVK, but again, not focusing to that. I will come to something where we will focus. This is standard BOQ, bill of quantity, which is coming to a certain project. This was the project where customer had all possibilities to do energy synergy, like was explained by Mr. Hovorka. They decided to purchase gas boiler, 4.5 megawatt gas boilers. We spoke to them, why do you do that? We can offer heat pumps. They said, okay, we have 80 degrees. And I said, 80 degrees is fine. We are able to provide heat pumps, ammonia heat pumps, or let's say add-ons to the standard ammonia plants that we are producing in Serbia, which are able in 2 stages to provide 80 degrees energy for heating. We are able to do that. This is the product which is used in food industry in Serbia, presented, but people are not going in that direction. For them it's easiest to go with gas boilers, and these gas boilers are something that they know about and they don't care about many things. Coming back to heat pumps, the targets are 20-20-20. This means 20% gas decrease, greenhouse gas decrease, minus 20% energy consumption, and 20% in the energy mix. This is something that we would like to do. We have very good background because of hydro plant in Dunav, which is giving us an excellent position, but on top of that, again, nearly zero. This is coming to the area where we need something like wake-up call, and this wake-up call is really important, that we realize that we don't have much more possibilities. We need to act smart. Our idea is, of course, not to repeat all these arguments for heat pumps. We all know them. Heat pumps plus solar photovoltaics, a marriage forged in heaven. I read it somewhere, and I think that this is a very good thing to remember and to have possibility. Even the district heating, which are important with the European roadmap, are clearly feasible with using of heat pumps. We even produce them in Serbia with high capacities, high temperature heat pumps. If anybody is interested, we can go in that direction as well. Just a few more things. What we propose is renewable energy sources and energy efficiency strategy definition, forming expert groups supporting Serbian economy decisions maker, creating development path with clear goals defined, creating flagship projects portfolio to participate for EU and Serbian funds, forming a budget as part of country budget for design and redesign of fossil solutions, etc., etc. And this would be mostly all from my side. If anybody would say that funds are not available, I don't agree, because with so high fossil fuels, we cannot be serious saying something like that. We need projects to be defined. These are the known things. I don't think that anybody is hearing something very new from my side. We need to ask ourselves, what is the purpose? What is the reason that we are using black energy when we have all these solutions? I asked myself, what will be my next step after the Congress? I know very well what will be. I will do it hopefully with professors. And I would like to do it green, to cool the costs down and to extend the time of our life before we end up with the Mr. Hovorka scenario. That would be all from my side. Thank you very much.